Seniors, please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the commencement ceremony at Othello High School for the graduating class of 2020. My name is Scott Swartz. I'm the principal of Othello High School. I'd like to take a moment to remind everybody to please make sure to wear your mask. And now we will begin our ceremony. Under the direction of Miss Amber Johnson, the Othello Graduation Choir has recorded our national anthem. Would the graduating senior class who participated please come to the stage. Family and guests, would you please rise while we play the recording of our national anthem?
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars to the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the guns bursting in air, they flew through the night, and our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. The 2020-2021 school year has been quite a challenge. We started our school year on Zoom, and as our local COVID numbers dropped, we were able to transition into in-person learning. Even though we were at half of our students on campus at a time, it felt a lot more like normal. During the past school year, we have learned a lot about ourselves and others. We have learned to be more patient and give grace. We have learned to put ourselves in others' shoes to see what they have been going through. Mostly what we have learned is to support everyone in our time of need. I would like to introduce to you the valedictorian and salutatorian for the class of 2021. First, our valedictorian for the class of 2021 is Anna Chin. Anna will be attending the Foster School of Business at the University of Washington and plans to pursue a business degree in business administration. Mr. and Mrs. Chen, could you please come to the stage? And I would like to congratulate you and your family with the OHS Valedictorians plaque. As a valedictorian for the class of 2021, Anna has earned the honor of being our first guest speaker.
Good evening, family, friends, faculty, administration, and community members. Thank you for coming here today to celebrate the wonderful accomplishments of the class of 2021 and to experience this once-in-a-lifetime COVID-19 graduation. Despite experiencing a global pandemic, we've still managed to graduate. It's been a rough year for most of us, but we've zoomed through it, and here we are now, so please give us a round of applause. I'm honored to represent the class of 2021 here today as valedictorian, and I'm grateful for being given the opportunity to say a few words with you all. I couldn't have done it without the support of everyone around me, and I'd like to take a moment to thank those that have helped me throughout my journey. I'd like to thank my friends, some who've come and gone, for making me laugh at the most random and obnoxious things and giving me memories that I'll never forget. I'd like to thank my outstanding teachers for being patient and pushing me beyond my limits. Special thanks to our senior advisors, Mrs. Billman and Mrs. Cutts, for putting their all into giving us a fun and memorable senior year. And most importantly, my parents. 多謝晒，你以前我帶了好強，你咪講一年也唔識揾機會俾你自己得你好好生活。你講所講啲事俾我聽，我真係唔知點解答你，不過我哋哋我好幸福。我哋哋你好攰，同埋好攰，因為返工好辛苦，哋哋你開車。要寧車真係，令我好心車，因為我幫唔到你，你兩個真係超慢。4年前我講俾你聽，我畢業嘅時候，你會坐一個一模一樣嘅位，我做到啦，我係第一名。多謝你支持我、幫我，同埋向我努力。好多謝你撐嘅呢個好嘅長大我保證我會俾心機讀書，做一個好本事嘅人。I love you. A quote that has stuck with me is by Kim Namjoon, and he once said, I'm like a surfer. First you just paddle and fall off the board, but as time goes by, you can stand up on the bigger waves. Things are constantly changing around us. I mean, look at us. We're all wearing masks, and now it's time to enter the real world. A world without flip lectures, Socratic seminars, Cornell notes, good morning, OHS, and sadly no more, good afternoon, Mrs. Lewis. In a few months, we will all be starting the next leg of our journey. We will encounter our next big wave. It might be college, trade school, the military, a job, or even starting a family for some of us. But no matter where we are or what we encounter, we will overcome the hardships that come along with it. We've come to learn that things don't just fall in our laps and that we must use our resources. Whether it was cramming for a test the morning of, writing a paper the day it's due, oh, I know we've all done that before, or even walking to Subway for lunch when we couldn't drive, I think it's safe to say that Quizlet, Slater, and Google have had our backs. Though they didn't quite help us during homecoming because we are the class that has never won. Anyways, it was a great 4 years together, filled with ups and downs, but now it's time to leave. It's sad to say that Today, June 4th, is our last day together, but we will forever be Huskies, and this will always be our home. Congratulations to the class of 2021. We finished strong.
Thank you, Anna. Next, I would like to introduce to you Julissa Kentu. She is Othello High School's class of 2021 salutatorian. Julissa will be attending the University of Washington. She is planning on studying biology and pursuing a career in dentistry. Mr. and Mrs. Kentu, would you please come to the stage? Julissa, I'd like to congratulate you and your family with an OHS salutatorian plaque. You can take your mask down if you like, or leave it up.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Julissa Kentu, and by the grace of God, I am the class of 2021 salutatorian. To be honest, I hadn't the slightest idea that I was in the running for this position. I've always tried to get good grades, but as I started taking the courses I needed to reach my goal of becoming a doctor, I knew that my journey would be difficult. For those of you who have not seen me in your classrooms or walking the breezeway the last 2 years, it's because I decided to sacrifice a portion of my high school experience to start the journey toward fulfilling my dreams. You see, I, at a young age, through the example of my father, have learned the power of sacrifice and working hard to achieve your dreams. My father left Mexico, his home country, and his medical degree to ensure that my siblings and myself had the amazing opportunities here in America. Because of his sacrifice and his hustle, I'm standing here today living out my dreams. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for always making sure that my needs were met, and for pushing me to grow spiritually, socially, and academically, and for loving me unconditionally. I am forever indebted to you. Even though my time at OHS seemed to be cut short, I have made so many unforgettable memories with you all. From the crazy fun games we played, the countless times we lost at pep assemblies, to the Friday night lights. The class of 2021 is filled with talented, intelligent, caring, and ambitious individuals, and I cannot wait for us to get out and positively change and conquer the world. Although this past year has been a lot for all of us, I'm so proud that we were able to navigate closing our junior year, applying for colleges, and adjust to distance learning all during a worldwide pandemic. There is no doubt that this pandemic has impacted each and every one of us one way or another. As much as I wish we were not living in a global pandemic my senior year, I am truly grateful for all the lessons it has taught us. We all realize how much we have taken for granted, like visiting our grandparents, playing a school sport, dining out, and attending school and other events. This pandemic made us appreciate our teachers and the beauty in sitting in class face to face. I'm so proud that we were able to defy all odds and graduate high school in the year of new beginnings. Even though this virus has mandated that we all stay 6 feet apart, we all have gotten through these trying times together. Next, I want to quickly thank all the people who have influenced my life. First and foremost, I want to give God all the glory. He has never forsaken me and has given me the strength, courage, and resilience to push through academically and spiritually throughout my life. I want to thank my grandparents who said yes to the Lord before I was born. And for that decision, I can forever call him my friend. Again, thank you, Mom and Dad, for your love, guidance, and support. Thank you for instilling the values, morals, and good ethics into all your children's hearts. I want to thank all 4 of my older siblings, Wally, Priscilla, Jocelyn, and Yanita, for being the best role models I could have ever asked for. I was always striving to be half of the person you guys were. I want to thank my pastors and my youth pastors for always being a safe presence for me. I want to thank my best friend, Micaiah, my friends, and my classmates for the childhood of a lifetime. I want to thank my coaches, Paris, Pernetta, Buse, and Caleb, for being more than coaches on the court. You guys all instilled in me the importance of sportsmanship, selflessness, respect, and discipline. I want to thank my teachers, Mrs. Bailey, Mrs. Tucker, Mr. Crow, Mrs. Lewis, Mr. Parrish, and Mr. Owerslin. You all have truly molded me into the student I am today. I know I wasn't always a model student, but you accepted me through my mistakes, corrected me when I did wrong, and challenged me to improve year after year. Finally, I am thankful for this district as I truly believe we have the best teachers and support staff in the world. The next few years of our lives are going to dictate who we will become. Remember, sacrifices, perseverance, discipline, and a growth mindset will let you live out any and all of your dreams. I want to challenge us all to live every day like it is our last. Most importantly, let's prioritize our relationships, friendships, and families, because those are the people who lift our spirits when times get tough and celebrate us in all our successes. Congratulations, class of 2021. I truly wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you, Julissa. I would like to now introduce to you the president of the 2021 ASB Executive Council, Mr. Jack Gentry.
Good morning, my fellow seniors. Evening, my bad. I would like to congratulate us on making it this far. We've come to the close of this chapter, and it's time to start a new one. Before I continue, though, I would like to do one last joke of the day. Why do most M&Ms want to graduate from high school? They want to turn into Smarties. Look at us, we're Smarties now. The other day, I was fishing with my good friend, Ryan Clay. Ryan had caught this little bass, and it was reeling it up and out of the water when suddenly it flopped off the hook. Now, it landed on the ground, and the fish then tried to flop its way back to the water. After quite a bit of struggling, it made its way all the way to the edge of the land, and it was this close to making it into the water when it gave up. Ryan then grabbed that poor little flipper and helped it the last bit of the way into the water. Now, how does this apply to us? Well, let's imagine we are this little bass, and graduation is like flopping off the hook. Okay, we are now somewhat more independent, and we have to find our path to the waters of greatness. Now, often on our journey, we may be flopping around and want to give up. But don't you quit. Look at me. Don't you ever quit flopping. And when you're this close to the water, there is always someone there to help. Do not be afraid to ask. As we endure whatever comes our way, we may run into a number of obstacles. For example, who's going to do my laundry? Who's going to make my food? Who's going to buy my food? What does insufficient funds mean? Don't fear. We can make it to the waters of greatness as long as we never quit flopping. Look at me. Don't you ever quit flopping. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Now, I wrote a song to celebrate our special day. Need a little water though first. Oh, that wasn't my water. Dang it. Shoot. Sorry. I'm gonna get my phone out because then it won't flop around like this paper. Okay, it's dead. Never mind. Okay, this song, I named it Corona Diploma. I'm a mess. Okay, here it goes. This is for you guys. Today's the day, my dear old friends. Now that it's done, was it worth it in the end? We learned to add and to divide. Now it's time to find out if we'll need it in real life. I love the way I learned to write about history and science, and sometimes my own life. Oh, growing up can feel so long, but now we can finally move on. Take your cap, look to the sky, toss it up. It's that time of our lives, just like that, in the blink of an eye. We spread our wings with your Corona diploma and fly. We had our sports, thanks to Miss McCordy. She gave us one last chance to play and be so sporty. And the prom, it was the bomb. Thanks to parents and teachers who took up the baton. Oh, masking up has been so fun. The only things that I always needed gum. Zooms were cool, but when we had our cameras off, I was always in bed. Take your cap, look to the sky, toss it up. It's that time of our lives, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, you spread your wings with your Corona diploma and fly. I miss lunch and all my friends. That was always time well spent, and now we know that's all that matters in the end, our friends. Now we're grown, we're lifted up by our friends, both old and young, thanks to you. Our teachers always knew that we could always do it, so here's to them. Our teachers, family, and friends will take our diplomas and
fly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. And now I'd like to introduce our Othello High School assistant principal, Mr. Jim Wood. Jim is going to present our senior awards.
Really, Mr. Schwartz, I have to follow Jack. Congratulations, seniors. If you look back at your first grade self and imagine what being a senior in high school would be like, I'm sure you never would have imagined the senior year you have just completed. Okay, I'm done with this. It has been my honor and a privilege to serve you, and I'm excited to see where life takes each and every one of you. It's with great pride that I announce the recipients of the Othello High School Senior Awards. The class of 2021 Citizenship, Service, Activities, and the Male and Female Athlete Awards. The first award that I'll be presenting is the class of 2021 Citizenship Award. This award is presented to the student who has demonstrated good attendance and a positive attitude towards our school, staff, and fellow students. In the words of one of the Citizenship Award winners' classmates, quote, "I can say I've never seen a kinder student who treated those around him with dignity and respect. He is humble and doesn't seek recognition, but he deserves the spotlight for being one of the best kids OHS has to offer." This year's award winner demonstrates integrity, honesty, and compassion in everything he does. He cares about everyone and goes out of his way to help others. This young man has been deeply involved in community service. This year's Citizenship Award goes to Jess Van Landingham. Congratulations, sir. I guess we get to turn and take a picture. There you go. The second award is the Class of 2021 Service Award. This award is presented to a student who has distinguished himself to being special service to OHS. The Service Award is bestowed on a student who chooses to serve others in almost every aspect of life. This year's winner is well known for her work with Gear Up, helping students do well in their classes. She was a near constant presence in the corridor, helping students with their work. The Service Award goes to Anna Gonzalez. Congratulations. The next award is the Class of 2021 Activities Award. The Activities Award is presented to the student who embodies school spirit. Borrowing the words of one of the activity winners' classmates, he has constantly shown a willingness to participate in school activities, from assemblies to student government. Every year during his high school tenure, he volunteers his time for AVID events and other fundraisers, and he is someone that I've always been able to count on. The Class of 2021 Activity Award goes to Carlos Mota. How are you, sir?
Hello. Thank you.
You're welcome. The last two awards are for male and female athletes, although I would be remiss if I failed to mention that both of the following students were active and engaged students at Othello High School in areas outside the realm of athletics. On an aside, I was a little nervous about presenting the Female Athlete of the Year award. I even went so far as to make sure my shirt and tie matched, because every day for the last 3 years she's given me a critique of whether my shirt and tie matched, and I do mean every day. The female athlete for the class of 2021 is a multi-sport athlete who was a volleyball player first, but also played golf, tennis, and track. This year's winner is well known as a team player on and off the court. She is always 100% in whatever sport she is participating in and encourages her teammates to do the same. Her persistence and commitment are impressive. This year's Female Athlete Award goes to Hallie Paris. The male athlete for the class of 2021 is also being awarded to a three-sport athlete. During his high school career, he participated in football, baseball, and track. One of his coaches stated, quote, "He wasn't a big talker, but he just went out and showed determination in his effort. His example had a powerful effect on teammates," unquote. This year's Male Athlete Award goes to Nathan Garza, Jr. Thank you.
Seven years ago, our local chapter of Veterans Foreign Wars inspired us to begin issuing a cord that is red, white, and blue to honor and recognize our graduating students who have enlisted in our country's military. We would like to honor and recognize Cameron Carl. Would you please rise? Cameron Carl has enlisted in the United States Army and will be headed to Georgia for training for the next 6 months. Thank you, Cameron, for your willingness to serve our country. You may be seated. I would also like to recognize those students that have earned honors cords. Please rise when your cord is announced. If you have earned a bronze cord with a GPA of 3.00 to 3.39, please stand. If you have earned a silver cord with a GPA of 3.40 to 3.69, please stand. If you have earned a gold cord with a GPA of 3.70 to 4.0, please stand. Please be seated. I would also like to take a moment to thank our local scholarship donors. Through your generous donations, our students received over $60,000 in local scholarship money. This helps to create amazing opportunities for our students. Thank you once again. And now, let me introduce to you the Interim Superintendent of the Othello School District, Mr. Pete Perez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, the pride of the Othello School District, the class of 2021. I certify that these seniors have met all the graduation standards, requirements, and policies as set forth by the Othello School District Board of Directors and the State of Washington. It is my great honor to present to you the Othello High School class of 2021.
Mrs. Sharon Schutte, Mr. Mike Garza, members of the Othello School District Board of Directors, along with our interim superintendent, Mr. Pete Perez, will be presenting the diplomas to our graduates. Directors Schutte and Garza, would you please join us on the stage? Class of 2021, first row, please rise.
Mauricio Castro Hernandez.
Anna Chen.
Skylar Wade Carlson.
Gabriel Castaneda.
Cameron James Carl.
Bonel Cantu.
Juan Concepcion Cano Cifuentes.
Julissa Kentu.
Arturo Vicente Camarillo.
Melanie Campos.
Naudis Borrero Jr.
Isabella Brunetti.
Amy Christine Bates.
Gabriel Romero Bernal.
Jose Juan Barroso Dominguez.
Orlando Basurto Trejo.
Kevin Yair Barrios Hernandez.
Irving Jaciel Barrios.
Ayeseli Yesenia Barraza.
Josiah Matthew Barrera.
Daisy Bayardo.
Lorelei Bailey.
Ebony Avila.
Nicholas Ayala.
Ana Atanasio.
Victor A. Atilano Jacobo.
Cassie Garza Arureng.
Aaron De Leon Arriaga.
Litty Andrade Rojas.
Dioselin Arciniaga Lopez.
Evelyn Ambrosio.
Ismael Ambrosio.
Cassandra Ambrosio.
Miguel Angel Jr. Amezola.
Israel Agustin.
Robert Alegría.
Rosalinda Aguirre Gonzalez.
Olga Aguilar Cortés.
Humberto Abundes Jr.
Andy David Adame.
Malachi Nicholas Garza.
Jack Edward Gentry.
Jesus Antonio Garza.
Kevin Alexander Garza.
Jerry Ali Garza.
Jason Garza.
Emily Janelle Garza.
Ashley Garza.
Nathan Garza Jr.
Isabel Garcia Luna.
Charlie Garcia Montez.
Rogelio Galvez.
Jose Martin Galvan Zamora.
Caleb Martin Foster.
Jaden Flores.
Mariana Faustino Rodriguez.
Dylan Everett.
Zaira Marlene Farias Acevedo.
Crystal Elizarraz.
Jasmine Renee Ensley.
Isaí Duran Huerta.
Araceli Elizarraz.
Jesus Duran.
Vanessa Durán Alvarado.
Manuel Lazo Duran Jr.,
René Duran,
Demi Jean Doro,
Udith Dominguez Romero,
Diego Francisco,
Yamila Dominguez Serna,
Hilario de Leon,
Adrian De Leon Jr.,
Charlie Daza Daza,
Ángel Gabriel de la Cruz Carranza,
Jose Andres Cortez,
Luis Cruz,
Cesar Cortez Manso,
Alondra Contreras Cedillo,
Ryan Jacob Clay,
Becky Clough,
Francisco Lopez Gonzalez Jr.,
Kayla Denise Mabry,
Isaí Lopez,
Jennifer Lobos Diaz,
Emma Elizabeth Lawson,
Jorge López Cortez,
Brandon Michael Kutsk,
Maylene Leal,
Ashley Nicole Krebs,
Leslie Larios Moreno,
Jacob William Jewell,
Andrea Juarez,
Logan Scott Hollenbeck,
Phoenix Shea James,
hold on, wait. Ismael Hernandez Velasquez,
Candice Leanne Herrera,
Maria de Rosario Hernandez Maldonado,
Sergio Hernández Vázquez,
Zachary James Hawley,
Isaac Joel Guzman,
Alberto Gutierrez Morales,
Angel Andrew Gutierrez,
Samantha Yvette Guerra,
Gabriela Guerrero de Jesús,
Samantha Ann Goodman,
Josefina González Rodríguez,
Adriana Gonzalez Ambrosio,
Ana Lisbeth González Jacobo,
Leonidas Gonzalez Pineda,
Jade González,
Diana Sarai Gonzalez,
Galilea Sosas González,
Bo Esteban Gonzalez.
Alonso Jaciel Gonzalez.
What's your full name? Christian Keenan Gonzalez Ramirez. Christian Keenan Gonzalez Ramirez.
Christian Keenan Gonzalez Ramirez.
Jesus Gonzalez III.
Jonathan David Gomez Jr.
Mercedes Hope Gonzalez.
Manuel Gomez Asensio.
Berenice Gomez Alvarez.
Ramon Martinez Paua Jr.
Sandra Padilla Munguia.
Iris Mackenzie Osuna.
Selah Janae Padilla.
Marisa Liana Orozco.
Giovanni Osorio Medina.
Frankie Nepomuceno Agustin.
Eric Negrete Pulido.
Carlos Alejandro Mota Perez.
Caden Daniel Muro.
Edgar Mora.
Moises Montes.
Adrián Montemayor.
Andrés Montemayor.
Jorge Mondragón.
Candice Montejano.
Rafael Mendoza Ramirez.
Mia Isabella Michael.
Ricardo Mendoza.
This one says Cyril.
Osvaldo Mendoza.
Joshua Cyril Mendoza. Dulce Vanessa Medina Sanchez.
Grecia Torres Mendoza.
Melisha Martinez.
Victor Manuel Mendoza Anguiano.
Efrain Martinez Jr.
Valentin Martinez.
Aliyah Hasmin Martinez.
Jonathan Martinez.
Lauren Martha Maples.
Alex Antonio Martinez.
Alexis Maldonado Perez.
Brianna Marquina.
Joanna Maldonado Dominguez.
Ivan Maldonado Ramirez.
Pablo Jesus Maldonado.
Shailene Maldonado Mendoza. Mendez, sorry.
Elidia Teresa Magaña.
Leonardo Maldonado Angel.
You too, buddy. James Philip Shank.
Damari Salazar.
Tanisha Salisbury.
Oscar Reese.
Renee Saavedra Jr.
Dulce Juliana Rojas Lopez.
Melissa Roman.
Daniel Rojas.
Estela Rodriguez Septimo.
Brian Anthony Rodriguez.
Ruben Rodriguez Jr.
Alondra C. Rodriguez.
Jonathan Rocha.
Lisbeth Robles.
Jacob Paul Risenmay.
Manuel Revuelta.
Ryan Riley Reno.
Anika Ramos.
Armando Ramirez Zepeda.
Magali Ramirez Pineda.
Johaira Janet Ramirez.
Cassandra April Ragland.
Alex Quiroz.
Aldolfo Angel Quiñones Silva.
Giselle Guadalupe Portillo.
Jose Luis Policarpio Lopez.
Jason Allen Porter.
Virginia Pineda.
Esmeralda Pineda Feliciano.
Dominic Israel Pinales.
Adrian Alonso Pimentel.
Ismael Perez.
Oscar Perez Pineda.
Zaid Perez Segal.
America Peña Larios.
Fernando Peña Gomez.
Brian Pastor Zuniga.
Hallie Marie Perez.
Valerie Denise Parra.
Brooklyn Washburn. Alejandro Martín Vizcara.
Jacqueline Zuniga Mejia.
Maria Velasquez Nunez.
Yair Zimpoalteca.
Jacqueline Vega.
I need to give you a hug.
Turner Jared Wagner.
Narissa Vasquez.
Brisa Virueta Torres.
Christian Vasquez Mendoza.
Jonathan Verduzco.
Oriana Azucena Vasquez.
Juan Antonio Vasquez Chavez.
Noe Vargas.
Chris Elijah Vasquez.
Jess Weston Van Landingham.
Isai Vasquez Jr.
Odyssey Alyssa Valencia.
Gustavo Vargas Chavez.
Jacob Valdez.
Isaiah Vargas.
Anthony Blaine Trujillo.
Vanessa Valentin Martinez.
Tyler Nathan Tosh.
Obriana Alicia Valencia.
Jorge Isaac Torres Gomez.
Carlos Valdez Alvarez. Isaac Daniel Valdez.
Alexandria Tereyama.
Micaiah Dene Tovar.
Jose Alfredo Tapia.
Mercedes Torres.
Gracie Sorensen.
Stephen Douglas Tippett Jr.
Christopher Aaron Solberg.
Andy Tapia Velasquez.
Adriana Ruby Sanchez Cepeda.
Justin Suarez.
Mario Sanchez Jr.
Arturo Solorio Jr.
Gisbet Zuniga Flores.
Jonathan Elias Zuniga.
Yairi Zuniga Diaz.
Olga Dalid Hernandez Ramirez.
Families and guests, please remember that our graduates will be leaving the ceremony at Husky Stadium and will be available in the student parking lot in front of the main gym to begin your celebration. Please do not come down to the ceremony area. To the Othello community, I present to you the class of 2021. Graduates, you may now change your tassels from right to left.
Whoa.
Thank you. This concludes our graduation ceremony for the class of 2021.
Once upon a younger year, when all I